all eyes around the state, around the country, around the world are on the Indiana Fever. And Bria, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Caitlin Clark just shattered a record that took Diana Taurasi 565 games to reach. She did it in only 41. Let that sink in. We're not just witnessing a rookie to sophomore leap. We're watching a transformation so rare, it might be the most unprecedented rise in professional basketball history, and it's happening right before our eyes.
There it is! A triple.
Raving about her triple-double, but that's just the surface. What Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever pulled off that night goes deeper. I went through every second of their demolition of the Chicago Sky, and what I discovered, it will leave you breathless. 11 records broken in a single game and the triple-double. That was only the spark that set the entire league ablaze. If you're rocking with Indiana, drop "I've got the fever" in the comments, because this was only the beginning.
Having the Fever organization be what it is today, like, it is just so fun to be a part of. There's been a lot of anticipation.
You've done a great job in training camp leading to this moment. Enjoy it. Okay, go out there and have some fun.
All eyes were locked on Caitlin Clark's brilliance. Something monumental quietly unfolded in the background. DeWanna Bonner stepped onto the court needing just 7 points to rewrite history. Picture this: 15 years of grinding, thousands of buckets, and now one game away from becoming the third highest scorer in WNBA history, and barely anyone noticed.
Bonner is the 4th all-time leading scorer in WNBA history, and in her first game with the Fever, will likely move into 3rd all-time. She's currently just 6 points behind Tina Thompson for 3rd on the all-time scoring chart.
One even realized what was at stake for Bonner in the middle of Clark Mania. That was the question lingering in the air as the Fever tipped off against Chicago. Bonner, who's been a scoring machine since 2009 through Phoenix, Connecticut, and now Indiana, was standing just 7 points shy of passing Tina Thompson on the all-time scoring list. The spotlight wasn't on her, but history was.
Bonner, who knocks it away. Cookies, TV, open court, right side, and she lays it in.
The moment arrived. Final quarter. The crowd buzzing. Bonner stepped to the free throw line. First shot swish, she ties the record 1 point away. The arena held its breath as she released the second. Nothing but net. 7,488 career points. DeWanna Bonner became just the 3rd player in WNBA history to reach that summit. A legacy sealed right in the middle of a night no one will ever forget.
One more free throw for Bonner. It's in the air, and it's good. DeWanna Bonner now 3rd in WNBA history in scoring. 7,489 points and counting. Lord, and here's the ovation for Bonner.
What made DeWanna Bonner's milestone even more powerful was the culture shift she brought with her. This isn't just an aging star padding stats. This is a 6-time All-Star and 2-time champion who injected winning DNA into a locker room starving for leadership. When Bonner speaks, players like Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull listen. That's not respect earned overnight, it's legacy earned through fire.
You know, DB is somebody that, you know, she's a Hall of Famer, like a legend. Not only a good basketball player, a great person, a great leader. You know, the strongest voice in our locker room is hers. And it's fun to have been around here now for about a month just to get to learn from her and soak it in. And I'm really happy she got to do it at the free throw line and all the fans could go crazy and cheer for her, because she certainly deserved that moment. And it was really awesome to see and be a part of.
When the PA announcer revealed Bonner's record, the Indiana crowd didn't just cheer, they stood, roared, because in a world addicted to highlight reels and social media clout, true greatness still gets its flowers. Bonner's rise to 3rd all-time in scoring wasn't just personal, it was the spark that ignited a legendary night. Only Tina Charles stands ahead of her now, but just when it seemed Bonner's moment would define the night, another star stepped into the spotlight, one who had something to prove to a towering rival who made it personal. Aliyah Boston was about to silence every critic, and she chose the perfect stage.
All right, y'all. Hey, good stuff. Okay, we did a lot of really good things. I thought our defense was really good, and when we had lapses, we played through possessions. All right, so we made things happen. Y'all, overall, just hell of an effort.
Aliyah Boston entered her 3rd season not just chasing respect, she was claiming her throne, her mission. to become the foundation beside Clark, the one-to-punch destined to lead Indiana for the next decade. But standing in her path, Chicago's front court, led by none other than Angel Reese, who'd been loud all week. She vowed domination, pressers, Instagram, even warm-ups. But when the lights hit, Boston didn't talk. She blocked 5 vicious rejections, each one louder than the last. The crowd exploded as Boston swatted shot after shot into the stands. Every time Reese rose up, Boston was there waiting. And in the process, she etched her name into franchise history as 6th in all-time blocks. This wasn't hype, it was a warning. Rebounds. Sounds solid until you realize it was historic. Boston, in just her 3rd season, soared to 8th all-time in Fever rebounding history. Let that sink in. Decades of players, she's already in the top 10. But that was just the beginning. With 19 points, 13 boards, and 5 blocks. Boston didn't just have a big night, she entered WNBA history, only the 2nd player ever to post 15 points, 10+ rebounds, and 5 blocks in a season opener. The first, Natasha Howard, back in 2014, and Boston's just getting started.
Yes, great job of those long arms of the Leah Boston here, going up multiple times and then...
Clark to Boston, over and over. It was basketball poetry. Caitlin Clark found her big with precision, slick bounce passes, high-low feeds, perfect timing, and Boston, she turned the rim into a fortress. Chicago kept attacking and kept getting denied. Angel Reese grabbed 17 rebounds, but her offense vanished, held to just 5 or 14 shooting. The duel everyone hyped up became a defensive clinic. Boston wasn't just protecting the paint, she was sending a message: if you come inside, you'd better bring more than talk. But the most jaw-dropping moment of the night, it came when Aliyah Boston and her teammate combined for something no one had ever seen before: a record-setting defensive stand on WNBA opening night. It wasn't just dominant, it was historic, and it sent a chilling message to scorers around the league. If you're attacking Indiana's defense this season, you'd better think twice, because what Caitlin Clark did on that court against Chicago has literally never been done, not by Diana Taurasi, not Sue Bird, not even Cheryl Swoops. This was a first in 28 years of league history.
Ready for the season to tip off. It's the Fever against the Chicago Sky. We saw record crowds a season ago, and I'd say they are back and raring to go in 2025.
Caitlin Clark walked into her sophomore season carrying a weight most players would collapse under. After breaking 62 records as a rookie and turning Indiana from a bottom feeder into a playoff contender, fans asked the impossible: what can she possibly do next? But as she stepped onto the floor against Chicago, nobody saw this coming.
The Indiana Fever faced off against the Chicago Sky in a blowout victory, and I have 3 words: oh my God, or now you know.
Indiana faced off against the Chicago Sky, and by the end, one thing was clear: this was a blowout with consequences. I've got 3 words for you: oh my God, or better yet, now you know. Because early in the first quarter, Clark pulled up from the logo and let it fly. The crowd froze. The shot, pure, the kind that doesn't even touch the net, and that was only the opening act. And that first deep 3, just the start. Caitlin Clark played like someone possessed, like the entire offseason had been laser-focused on one goal: dominate everything. Her vision was on another level, threading passes through gaps that didn't seem to exist. She outjumped taller opponents for rebounds with perfect timing. And then came the biggest surprise: her shot block.
Not the first one in your career, but you had 4 blocks out there. That's more than you ever had in college. Matches your WNBA career high. Felt like you were channeling the spirit of Gabby Marshall out there with the blocks. Is that a part of your game that you've been working on the postseason? Are we going to see more blocks out of you as your career rolls on?
Not really.
Blocks, a new career high, and the most by a point guard in a WNBA season opener ever for a player once doubted for her defense. This was a thunderous answer. These weren't soft swipes or lucky contests. They were violent rejections that shook the arena. And when Clark and Boston combined for 9 total blocks, a league-opening record for any duo, the basketball world was stunned. A point guard and center turning into twin towers. This was no fluke. This was the future.
Not really something you can work on. I don't know, I felt like I had active hands. I had some pokes when our post players were playing good defense, and coaching staff has just challenged me to try to be a better defender every single practice and just getting better in that area. I still feel like there's a lot of room for me to improve. I don't think any of those blocks were too obvious. You look at the stat sheet and it's like, oh wow, 4, but you can get your hand on there and help your teammate out. It makes the world of a difference.
As the fourth quarter ticked in, the tension in the arena was electric. Caitlin Clark stood just 2 assists and 1 rebound away from history. Every possession became a moment of suspense. Fans held their breath on each pass. Every missed shot had them scanning the court to see if she'd grab the board. With under 5 minutes left, Clark dished a laser to Aliyah Boston-Madrid. 10 assists. The crowd exploded. Moments later, she re-entered the game, snatched her 10th rebound, and the place erupted. She had done it. The first ever 20-point, 10-rebound, 10-assist triple-double in a season opener. Not only was it her 3rd career triple-double, it made her the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 3. Just 41 games, and she tied Alyssa Thomas for the 2nd most 20-point triple-doubles ever. The crowd witnessed history live.
There it is! A triple.
Here's the stat that will melt your brain. Caitlin Clark now has 9 games with 20 points and 10 assists, 2nd most all-time. The only player ahead of her, Courtney Vandersloot. But here's the kicker. It took Vandersloot 430 games to reach 10. Diana Taurasi needed 565 to get to 9. Clark, she did it in 41. That's not just fast, it's unprecedented. She's not simply rewriting the WNBA record book, she's tearing them apart and building new ones in real time. If Clark keeps up even a fraction of this pace, she won't just break every points, assists, and triple-double record. She'll obliterate them, and that's not hype. That's math.
Caitlin Clark is a superstar. Not a female superstar. She is a superstar.
We were coming to see Caitlin Clark play.
She moves the needle.
What we just witnessed against the Sky wasn't just a statement. It felt like the birth of a dynasty. Indiana's 35-point demolition of Chicago was more than a regular season win. It was the kind of game that signals a changing of the guard. This wasn't a routine blowout. It was the 2nd largest win in Fever history, and it came on a night when 11 records were broken. This isn't luck, it's a blueprint. The league has officially been put on notice because Indiana isn't just back. They're building something terrifying.
She just absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her play.
The Clark-Boston connection. It's evolving faster than anyone imagined. The combined 9 blocks were a shocking sign of just how deep their two-way chemistry runs. Experts thought it would take years for this duo to fully click, but they're already shattering records together. This roster has balance most franchises dream of. Clark, a sophomore sensation, breaking league records like it's routine. Boston, a 30th force, rewriting the franchise record books. Add in veterans like DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, Sydney Colson, Brianna Turner, and Sophie Cunningham-Moore with deep playoff or championship experience. Then there's Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull, young stars entering their prime. The foundation isn't just strong, it's elite.
Well, the regular season is here, and we have no more time for flirting, folks. We have no more time. It's time to get serious about our business. And Caitlin Clark handled her business game 1. 20, 10, and 10. 20, 10, and 10. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, what do the kids say? Belt to ass. Oh yeah. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Indiana Fever destroy, obliterate, run out of the gym the Chicago Sky. 93-58.
Watch this team closely because what they're building isn't normal. The spacing is surgical, the rotations are tight. The ball movement looks like it's straight out of a playoff veterans playbook, and yet they're one of the youngest teams in the league. This isn't just a hot start, it's the formation of something historic. The Fever are giving early 90s Bulls energy, the kind you feel in your gut. Clark-Boston. This entire squad there just warming up. If they're breaking 11 records now, what happens when they actually hit full chemistry? This wasn't a good team having a good night. This was the start of a takeover. The gap between Indiana and the rest of the league, it's growing. They didn't just win 93-58. They sent a message with the 2nd largest blowout in franchise history. You weren't watching basketball, you were watching history unfold. The only question now is, how many more records will Clark, Boston, and this Fever team destroy before the season ends? If you're rocking with Indiana, comment "I've got the Fever" below, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications, because what's coming next might be even bigger.